If you visit Polonnaruwa today, you will see this luxurious hospital with all the facilities. Today there are 40 specialists working in that hospital and at least 100 junior doctors to serve a population of 470,000 people. That is no doubt good for the people of Polonnaruwa. But that is not the hospital where I started my surgical career in 1982. This is the hospital that I started work 38 years ago, today resembling an archaeological site. That was immediately after returning to Sri Lanka, following 3 years of postgraduate training in the UK and working in hospitals there. Adapting to work in this hospital at that time was no easy task. This hospital at that time had only 3 specialists. I was the only surgeon, not only at the hospital, but for the whole district, serving a population of 260,000 people. The hospital did not have the necessary facilities for a surgeon to function efficiently. I had to work with basic facilities and therefore had to adapt to difficult situations, accept and overcome challenges, take risks, make bold decisions, and do what was best for the people. I found myself in extreme situations that I had never dreamt. Responding to these challenges with faith, determination, and courage, and they were so rewarding. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me start from the very beginning. In 1982, when I went to that hospital, these were the facilities that were available to me, because that hospital had been upgraded from a district hospital to a base hospital. Base hospital means a hospital where there are specialists. But if there are specialists, there must be adequate facilities. There was only a small lab, an old X-ray plant, and a small blood bank. There were wards, patients, and staff accommodated about 300 patients. The operating theater consisted only of old equipment. There were no junior doctors to assist me. And there were only 3 consultants for the whole district. And worst thing is, for a surgeon needs an anesthetist to anesthetize the patient. And this hospital did not have an anesthetist at that time. And the population served was 260,000 people. What about the facilities for the surgeon? Surgeon did not have any quarters. He was given a small room attached to the hospital, sleeping on a hospital bed, and also provided with a mosquito net, because there were epidemic of malaria in Polonnaruwa, and they didn't want the surgeon to get malaria. The food was from a nearby boutique. I had no vehicle. Communication at that time only by fixed phone, available only in the hospital. There were no cell phones or any other type of phone. My salary just after returning from UK was 2,500 rupees. And I was on call every day, but no overtime payment, and I did not ask for any overtime payment. Private practice was available, but as you know, Polonnaruwa at that time was a very poor area, and there was no nursing home to do private practice, but there were patients who wanted to give me 25 rupees per consultation. So under these conditions, I had 3 options. One is to complain about poor facilities and leave the station, come back to Colombo and go back to UK. Keep on complaining and do nothing and mark time. That's not going to help anyone. Therefore, I decided to accept the challenge, improve the facilities in the hospital, and do my best for the people. Because in Polonnaruwa, most of the people are farmers. They are very poor people at that time. They are helpless at times of emergency or illness, as I will show you later. And if they need surgery, especially in an emergency, they have to be transferred either to Matale or Kandy Hospital, and that will take 3 to 4 hours, and that may mean that some of them may die on the way, especially in emergencies. You will realize only when you see these pictures. So, unlike George Sava, I couldn't work without instruments. So I needed instruments, and continuous complaints to the health department doesn't work like any government department unless you make a personal effort to get these instruments. So I had to make personal visits to the health department and stores looking for surgical instruments. Luckily, JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency, came to assistance of the Polonnaruwa Hospital, and they improved the hospital. The other organizations in the area like Lions Club and other social organizations too came and helped the hospital to improve the facilities. Now, without an anesthetist, it was difficult for a surgeon to work because the patient has to be anesthetized for the surgeon to use that healing knife. So when there is no anesthetist, how can I operate? So I thought of learning anesthesia. I learned anesthesia, and there were occasions when I had to anesthetize the patient and do the operation to save a life. That is a very important thing, otherwise patients would have died. No Sri Lankan doctors wanted to come to Polonnaruwa at that time because they said there is an epidemic of malaria, there are wild elephants, and if you go to Polonnaruwa, you will be considered as a punishment transfer. So the government had to depend on the WHO to get foreign doctors. So they imported doctors from Burma. And this is my anesthetist. His name is So Oku. And you can see a reptile round our necks. And that is anyway before the origin of the coronavirus. He used to make reptile soup. And in the night we used to have reptile soup. And sometimes he comes to hospital wearing this same kit. You can see a sarong and a banyan. But anyway, he was an asset to the Polonnaruwa Hospital because he was able to support me and give anesthesia and help me to do the operation. That is the old operating theatre. These may be of archaeological importance today. You can see the surgeon and the other staff wearing masks and caps which are all made out of different types of clothing. So these are not disposable. These are used and used many times. After each operation, they are washed, dried, and used again. So the sterility was a bit limited. That is the operating theatre after I improved it to a certain level where I could perform surgery. Still the caps and masks are the old type.